Hello, everyone. We unfortunately have had some sad news. Richard Donner has passed away at age 91. This one hurts. Richard Donner was one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. I loved his films. Many of us loved Richard Donner's films. And if you didn't know Richard Donner directed it, you most likely have seen it and not known, because his work has spanned decades throughout television and film. He directed many episodes of The Twilight Zone, including the classic Nightmare at 20,000 Feet with William Shatner. He directed episodes from Perry Mason to The Streets of San Francisco, Tales from the Crypt. And his films are well known, starting with The Omen, Superman the Movie, Lethal Weapon, The Goonies, The Toy, Scrooged, Assassins, Conspiracy Theory, Timeline, 16 Blocks. You know Richard Donner. And this one just kind of hurts because, it's not like one of those things where like somebody was starting out in their career and they're very young or like, wow, they're gone way ahead of their time. But it's still sad because this person was such a gifted, immensely talented individual that had a wonderful life, and you just wanted to see more, 91 is a long time, and the reason why I feel kind of bummed is because there was talks of Richard Donner's words. He wanted to make a lethal finale, Lethal Weapon 5. And I grew up on those films. They're part of the reason why I'm a filmmaker. And I honestly thought they wrapped it up nicely in Lethal Weapon 4. But it would have been cool to see Richard Donner at his age of like 91 coming back to direct it. One last Lethal Weapon with Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. And as nice as Lethal Weapon 4 wrapped things up, it would have been cool to see that. I was really looking forward to it. Now, I don't think they should move forward with Lethal Weapon. I think they should leave it alone. 4 was a nice place. Keep Richard Donner's work. The only two filmmakers I could see possibly do a lethal finale are Shane Black, the original screenwriter, and then even Mel Gibson himself. And if they do it as a homage to Richard Donner. But, yeah. Going over his films, I love his work. He has maybe about 86 and beyond credits, and that's just directing. He's also a wonderful producer. He produced a lot of films from like The Lost Boys, the Free Willy trilogy. Richard Donner was also an executive producer on the first X-Men in 2000. And I think the first Richard Donner film I ever saw had to be Superman the Movie. If I remember correctly. My mother showed me a lot of these films on HBO. And then I remember Lethal Weapon 4 was coming out. I talked about this in another video. There was a VHS promo for like the making of the Lethal Weapon trilogy to promote Lethal Weapon 4's theatrical release. And they showed the making. And I always loved seeing the behind the scenes with Richard Donner. And that was so cool seeing not only how he directs action movies, but comedy as well, dramatic moments. And Lethal Weapon forever defined the buddy cop genre. It's like the godfather of buddy cop films. Richard Donner on Superman made us believe a man could fly. Later on, I caught Conspiracy Theory, and then Scrooged is one of my favorites with Bill Murray. He brought us a modern rendition of Ebenezer Scrooge and Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I love it. That film is still relevant to this day. And then I remember seeing Maverick with Mel Gibson and Jodie Foster and James Garner. My mother and I used to love watching that movie. We haven't seen it in a while. I think we're going to revisit on HBO Max. We love that movie. We also have it on DVD. Assassins was one film I loved to watch with Sylvester Stallone and Antonio Banderas as well. And then let's not forget the Goonies. Goonies never say die. And the Goonies is just a perfect movie. Perfect kids movie, perfect movie to watch as an adult. One thing about Richard Donner is he always had this sense of wonderment and awe, He always had this like pureness about him in his movies that brought movie magic alive. The kind of like curiosity and like wonderment that a child has. And the fact that he's able to keep that beautiful, pure magic throughout his career as an adult and present that onto film is something very powerful. And again, Richard Donner was not afraid to go into like the dark parts of life with The Omen. And Lady Hawk is a beautiful tragic tale, wonderful film with Michelle Pfeiffer, Rutger Hauer, and Matthew Broderick. The Toy was one of my favorite comedies growing up with Richard Pryor. That was such a fantastic movie. The Lost Boys, originally he was going to direct, and it was going to have more to do with younger kids, kind of like Goonies, hence the Lost Boys and Peter Pan references, and then they made him older and brought Joel Schumacher in. And you could definitely tell, looking at his production credits, producer credits, you can definitely tell the kind of touch Richard Donner had on his films. Even though he didn't direct them, Free Willy and like Lost Boys definitely have that Richard Donner feel about them. Even the first X-Men, as far as grounding these extraordinary beings in our world, much like he did Superman. And he was a pioneer that like shaped many parts of cinema's history. This news just leaves me feeling sad, but also thankful that not only myself, but a lot of other people were around in this period of history to see the genius of Richard Donner, of this visual pioneer, of this person that shows us what filmmaking is and what it is to bring joy and entertainment to people through means of cinema. He provided us an escape, and he is a talent that is going to be forever missed. I know this is kind of a sad video, but I want to say that let's be thankful that we experienced his films and that his films will forever live on in the history of cinema. His legacy will forever live on through the annals of time in cinema. And I just feel blessed to have seen it. So, for anyone out there, feel free to share your comments down below. Let me know your favorite Richard Donner film. What are your favorite memories of seeing his films? I'm glad that he actually got to see his cut of Superman 2. That was something before the Zack Snyder's Justice League, you know. It wasn't the exact version, but it was 26 years later, and that was so cool that he finally got to see a version of what he intended to make with Superman 2. Feel free down below to share your favorite Richard Donner films and your memories of it. You can subscribe and check out these other Richard Donner related videos on my channel. Till next time, everyone. I think I'm going to watch some Lethal Weapon and Superman the movie.